Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your boy Beacon. I have returned to talk about the game Anthem. Now, EA just went ahead and fixed part of the biggest issue in this game with loot. But the fix is not all it's cracked up to be, because there's even a huger issue with Anthem, and we're going to talk about that and actually show examples of it right now. But let's talk about what EA actually said. Just a few moments ago, they released this update. In the latest server-size update, we have made some noticeable change to the loot drops for in specific scenarios, which will take effect immediately in server-side tuning. So over the last day or so, I've heard people say they keep getting more legendary drops, and they think that EA is actually tuning things in the background. Now, this wasn't confirmed by EA at all until now, so I really do feel like over the last 24 hours reading Reddit, people have been getting a lot more cool legendaries, and I'm like, maybe EA is trying to test things in the background, and I think this is kind of proof that they actually were testing stuff and it was happening in the background, and this is the first time they've actually mentioned it. But here's exactly what's going to change currently, then we'll get into why this actually may not matter as much. Alright, these changes include Masterwork and Legendary drop rates have been increased for Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 difficulty. That's very good. That makes sense. Those are harder difficulties. Masterwork and Legendary drop rates have increased for harder enemies at all difficulties, because that makes sense. If the enemy's harder, it should drop stuff. Okay, this includes Legendary Titans, Epic Titans, Legendary Fury, Legendary Acid, Ursix, Legendary Luminary Elders. What doesn't that include is bosses at the end of Stronghold. So they did not mention that bosses at the end of the Stronghold can actually drop legendary weapons or items, because currently they only drop Masterwork gear, which is pointless. Think about that, guys. You get better items from the chests as you jump into a Stronghold than you could get from the end boss. It's like giving you the great loot along the way, but once you get to the boss and beat the boss, you potentially are only going to get stuff you don't need or just duplicate of things you already have. Now, once again, I'm just going to say thank you, EA, for giving people more loot and more ways to get loot. This is not the full-on explosion of stuff that we need. We definitely need a refinement of the inscriptions, but all that might not matter, because a post came out on Reddit a few hours ago confirming something I myself was testing, but I'm just not a mathematician. So the user Tempera Hoof, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, he put out a post as why loot does not power scaling, why loot does not matter math. Basically, I'll give you guys a quick TLDR of what he says right here, guys. This post breaks down the logic behind the recent patch and the power scale, and why playing the game as intended would only result in dismissions and returns, worthless inscriptions, useless components, and pointless weapons. In short, this post exposes why 1.3, the last patch, broke the game and why you're playing wrong. Every legendary is now pre-patch level 1 defender. Basically saying that, well, before the patch, the level 1 defender weapon was the best thing in the game. Now every level legendary in the game is that strong as that level 1 defender weapon. And just go down to his conclusion before I actually just break it down a little bit better, because I just think this, what he said right here, is very, very important. This isn't some sort of bug. This is a fundamental design flaw. At this point, the game is lying to you about how much damage you are doing. This is why there is no stat sheets, and this is the thing I want to talk about right now, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm no mathematician, but I've wanted this game to work. So since the patch on Friday, and I started doing the boycott like everybody at the beginning of the week, this is the first time I've turned on Anthem since Monday when I heard about the boycott, right? First time, just because of this update. But over the weekend, what I did was I did do this. I started making little tiny videos testing out my damage, because I suspected something was actually incorrect and something was wrong with the game. So I was trying out different weapons, trying out different builds, and seeing how much damage I could do with my melee interceptor, because I got a piece of epic gear that had plus 45 damage. You know, plus 45 sounds like a great amount of damage added. And I'm sorry about the reflection. I forgot to actually turn down the brightness of the TV so it wouldn't reflect as much. But either ways, you guys said you like this new format, so I'm doing it like this right now. So I took a bunch of 1-minute clips comparing different builds and different types of damage I will do with my super, and seeing that, wait, the one where I took off, let me show you guys right now in game. The one, I have two different builds. I have melee and I have tests. So this melee build right now has some of the best items you can have for a melee build. In fact, this Masterwork weapon right here, when I hit up enemy up close, it gives me plus 50 melee damage. So I was like, okay, this is a really great build. I could add another legendary weapon, but it's better off to have the Masterwork version of the weapon because I got an extra 50%. This build should be the most powerful thing I possibly have as a melee interceptor right now. And if I equipped that plus 45 melee thing as well. But no, I had this build right here where I'm 666. It's using all legendaries, and on top of that, I'm not actually using the support gear. So no support gear, and I was like, when I'm testing out the numbers, I'm like, why is this build doing more damage without the support gear, lower power level, like the number up here at least, than every other build? Well, this Reddit post went into real detail and basically said that all these legendaries right here are getting averaged out. So you having yourself a support that actually is epic or green is pulling your level down. If you're having in here components that are epic and not legendary or even master, it's pulling the numbers down. So by his post right now, if I made another test set and actually removed all of these and just used the legendary weapons and gear I have, my weapon would even skyrocket even higher. I might have less health or anything like that, but it completely screws up the way the damage works in this game. Basically, by unequipping your gear, by using less gear, you are actually making yourself stronger. So even though my guy says 666 here and my other javelins right here, like my melee build, I'm sorry, that's a glitch right there. When you press down, it'll just jump through some of them for some reason. I don't know why that happens. Like this build right here is actually weaker than this build, even though it technically shouldn't be. And that's just complete fault of the developers right there. So my inscriptions don't matter. So for me, using the Papa Pump, which is a decent shotgun in the game, is not what I want to do. Even though it's a legendary and it bumps the numbers up, it's not a very great shotgun with a lot of great stats for me. In fact, I should be using this weapon right here, Undying Battle, because that actually gives me more melee damage for a melee build. But because it's a Masterwork and not a legendary, and because the scaling is wrong, it actually just makes me feel completely weak. Because even though my inscriptions might say plus something damage on the weapon, just having a legendary equipped right now basically outweighs any single inscription. So why does this matter? Let me just simplify this. Why does it matter for people not playing Anthem? This matters because trying to craft masterworks with better inscriptions doesn't matter currently. Only thing that matters is getting legendary weapons and legendary gear. It doesn't matter what's the stats on those legendary weapons and those legendary gear. You just need to have legendary stats and legendary gear. And because there is no way currently to craft legendaries, the game is completely screwed. So even if you found the perfect god roll masterwork melee component weapon, it gives you plus 50 melee here, 50 melee here, 100% damage, whatever it might be, just something that just goes crazy damage percentage on that thing right there. But because a legendary is such a bigger advantage, you will end up using the legendary. But the legendaries are extremely hard to get in the game, and I think, well, right now they just went ahead and updated it so that people could get more legendaries in GM2 and GM3 content and from killing bosses in the legendary contracts. Now, will that up increase be a big increase? I have no clue. This is the first time I've turned on the game all week since Monday, since the boycott started, because I said, like, I was not playing until they increased the loot. I work, guys. I'm not sitting here grinding all day. I have this Destiny 2 to play. I have Devil May Cry. I have Resident Evil 2. I haven't even started those games. I have plenty of games I want to play. But I love the flight. I love it. I really do. I like being Iron Man. I can't lie. I genuinely like flying around in this game to the point that I will overlook so much to have that great flying and skill experience with cool min-max in my build. My goal in this game is to get the ultimate possible crazy ultimate and melee build for my interceptor. I have a cool Colossus as well, but that's what I want. But right now things are so broken in this game that I'm like, oh, like just make it work. Just work. Now I have no clue how they're gonna fix this. This is a fundamental broken system. Inscriptions on anything other than legendaries basically don't matter currently. Yes, they have an effect, But if you have a legendary version, and the legendary version only gives you 1% damage increase, and the Masterwork version gives you 100% damage increase, well, guess what? It's better off to use the legendary 1%. Now, some gamers will be like, of course that's how it should work. But it's even better to unequipped component, unequipped skills like Target Beacon. Target Beacon is one of your skills. It makes enemies 30%, 33% weaker. And it's better off for me to unequip something that makes the enemies 33% weaker to actually get maybe a 50% buff. Like I said, guys, I was testing this stuff, and my numbers, I am not a Matt Wiz. I tested. I wasn't going to put my video up. I wasn't going to make anything, because I thought I was going to get called out. Like, I could, yo, guys, info on these things, man. These videos were made, what was this? What was this, Tuesday? Oh, this was Tuesday morning, okay? So, Tuesday, that was the last time I played. So, these videos were made Tuesday. So, I've been thinking about this shit. I've been thinking about it. And I was just like, yo, something is off. But I just didn't want to put anything out there. Look at all the little 1-minute clips. These are me leaving to free pay, going through the freaking loading screens, saying like, okay, I'm going to do this, change this. And I was just like, something's up, but I have no way of confirming it. But there's some smart gamers out there on Reddit testing this stuff and calling Bioware out. All I gotta say is thank you for increasing the loot drops, but you still need to make bosses drop legendaries. What kind of shit is that? Who thought of that? Like, yo, yeah, we're gonna have everybody fight the bosses, and the bosses have no chance of dropping legendaries. But you can get legendaries out of the chests. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't the boss drop anything good? Who thought that was a smart idea? No wonder people are leaving the Heart of Rage early. Of course, they're just going to run chests. It just makes sense, especially with the bosses in Heart of Rage having the Dominion having so much health. But I'm not here to rant. I'm just here to say, this is what's going on. I am just so glad that the gaming community out there is calling me. This is what I love. I love when the gaming community steps up and says there's a problem, to let the developers know and show that people are having an issue. And that's what this video is about. If Bioware sees it, I've done testing too, and I was running into it. I'm just a regular dude, guys. I was running into the problem, and it just bugged me to the point that I wanted to know what was going on. And now I have somebody else in the community confirming this for me as well. And I'm just like, yes, fix this game. Make it better. Let people get their money's worth. Now, for the people out there that's going to call me out, I shouldn't support EA. I didn't buy the game. I didn't buy the game. I got the game free. I'm not supporting EA. I don't buy EA Sports games. I don't buy Battlefield. I don't buy their games. I didn't buy the game. I was given the game. I was given the game by friends who stopped playing the game. Think about what I just said there. I was given the game by friends who are now not playing the game because of these issues. Huh? What? BK here with the Untitled Game Show. I'll be back with more video game discussions, talk, and more stuff soon. Sorry about the quality of this video. I just came home. I just wanted to talk about this. This game I want it to be good. That's really it. I want it to be good. But it has problems. And I think that's the one thing we can say about every game. I want the Division to be good. I want people to have good games. So Anthem, Bioware, EA, step up, responds to this scaling issue. Get a patch out here by next week and fix this as soon as possible. Also, sniper rifle scaling is broken. I jumped on Friday, try to use the Devastator. That thing's not doing as much damage as it was doing before. That was another, like, stuff like that. I'm like, why is this not working correctly? And I can't just be following updates on every little thing that EA says to realize that I thought like maybe I messed up my build after the patch. I'm like, I was doing like 150,000 damage with my sniper rifle consistently. Now I'm doing 60,000, 70,000. I'm like, what's going on? But I could rant forever. I could rant forever on Anthem. Later, guys.